There we go. Now it works. Hello, Coco. How is it going, my man? Glad to see you here. Good morning. Okay, so I've decided to wait a little bit on the Godot game until we have set up like a to-do list. So you guys can follow along with what we're going to do. And I will probably help Mr. Almeida set this up so that we can get this rolling. I know Abeth has been sending me some stuff as well on Discord. I just did not have the time to answer yet. So yes, Abeth, I know that you are here, and Mr. Almeida also. Maybe I should look at Mr. Almeida at least. All right. I'm struggling with motivation and the animations for the characters. What type of stuff are you doing? Pixel art? If you do indie game review commentary series, whatnot, here's one of my suggestions. Okay. Unmetal. Buy now. Does it have source, open source? So this is a suggestion by Magetsap, where I do an indie game review / commentary series. However, first and foremost, this is a Metal Gear Solid parody. What I see here is a game that is probably not open source. Right? Yes, pixel art. So what are you struggling with exactly? Like animations. Do you not know how to do animations? I can link you a tutorial, and if you want to become motivated doing pixel art, then I can recommend to you that you should start by starting small. For example, if you want to do an animation for a character but it's too much work for you right now, how about you draw one frame today, and maybe you start with something like this. Let's say you want to make a, I don't know, let's say we have a 32 by 32 sprite, right? And you have some sort of character that you want to animate. And you start maybe with like a silhouette, right? Of, I don't know if it's like a fighter guy or something, right? And he has this upper torso here. I don't know how. Right, and then, I don't know, you start. Whoops. Now, let's say you have this silhouette or something. I'm gonna make a very bad one. Right. Now, this doesn't really work out if you want to animate your character. And I've done this very fast, so it doesn't look very good. But let's say you have a character that looks something like this, which, you know, he's leaned back a little bit, but you could see that this is some sort of a fighter guy, right? Now he looks a little bit better, but you can't see very well. What you can do is, okay, how about we draw every single... How about we draw every single limb in a different color, right? So, for example, the hand in the front is gonna be blue, right? Then it looks something like that. Maybe this is a little thick, you know. Can always make that a little bit better. And now that we have the hand in the front, we want to do a torso. And so we make a new layer and then put the hand on top. Can you click this off? Thank you. You put the first thing on top and then we draw below for the torso. And we use a different color for the torso that is somewhat... that somewhat contrasts the arm, right? Let's say something like that, and then we can delete everything here and we have the torso. Not everything, right? Still need the arm. Something like that. Now, and you start by, and you begin to slowly develop a silhouette for your character like that, right? Next is the arm and the back, which would be even another different color, something like this. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you're just trying to get the basic shape right, okay? Something like this, right? Now you can name this already, right? We do, I think, how's renaming? You double click. You would call this backhand. What was this again? Torso. Front hand. Right? And then you make another one for the head, which will be yet another color. I'm gonna make it a little bit of a different blue. And we already see here that this head is way too big, so we're going to move this down a little bit. You know, maybe a little bit to the front. Can you, like, stay there? Thank you. Then we have our head. And we remove from the front hand again. Now that we have this, we need to use, and we can call it head, of course. Now that we have all of this, we start on the legs. So we make a new layer. We draw our first leg to the left here. And then we delete the part for the front hand, the black part. We call it front leg. The last thing you probably already know what that is going to be, which is the back leg, which we're going to draw in yet another color, and I'm going to use dark red. Good, and we're going to delete the black part as well. I accidentally deleted some blue stuff, which I didn't mean to. And now that you have this, you can start animating this silhouette day by day if you are really struggling with motivations. Okay, so for example, if you want to give him an idle pose, right? He stands a little bit far, in my opinion, so I would probably... like the front leg, I think, is a little bit too steep, so I'll probably move it in a little bit. And then the back leg also is a little bit, Yeah, no. That is a tiny bit. That looks already a lot better. Right, and then an animation for that could be that the entire character moves down. I wonder how you move down multiple layers. I guess you can't do that, huh? Ah, you can. Right, so for example, you just make it move down a little bit, and then hopefully it didn't move. Yeah, it didn't move that. It just moved this layer down. And then for the two legs, you change them just a tiny bit, right? The front leg gets a little bend forward, right? You see that? How it's bending a little bit. And then for the back leg, it also gets like a slight bend, right? So you have this. You see that? And this could be already your first animation, right? It doesn't look like much, but it's not bad, right? And so this is where you begin, and you can move on and animate each of these parts individually and make your character move in a cool way. And once you're done with that, you can start on filling in the actual character that you want to do. And you can do 1 frame a day. If you're struggling with motivation, just do 1 frame a day. Now, I'm gonna set a marker here. This is the marker for when I drew this, and I could create a short out of this Cakez for the future. If I remember this marker. And I could also make a clip. Clip that, okay? Clipping this for very interesting purposes. Yeah. Have you listened to what Walt Disney's called speech? Have you read Disney's book of animation? No, I have not. Cakez, have you checked skeleton animations? No. I hate being front-handed. Thanks for start now. Are you using an engine already? Hi, Godot today. Hey, DGod Live, good morning. How's it going, my man? Today is not going to be Godot. I'm waiting on the to-do list for Mr. Amida so you guys can follow along with what we are doing today. I should probably talk to him a little bit more about how I want it. Because I would like to have some sort of way to check on a task that we are working on currently. Da boy Cakez, good evening. Hello. Natural mindset. I'm probably sorry, I probably have the wrong thumbnail, right? Sorry guys, quickly need to change that. Totally forgot. Managing to I actually have the correct thumbnail. Awesome. It's a little bit of a clickbait on Godot engine though. Okay, recently getting the feeling that I might pursue Godot more and more instead of continuing my engine. How are you feeling about yours? My engine, I'm feeling good about it. However, I'm not so much feeling good about Godot sometimes. At least, it's a little bit clunky to use. Let's just be fair about it, okay? It feels a little clunky. That's all. Alright, I don't even know what I'm going to program today, but we have to program something today. Good morning, Cakez and chat. Weather here is amazing for Germany standard. Weather here is amazing for Germany standards. Yeah, it is. How big is this file? This file right here is about, so let's see, 19,000 lines of code. Not that much. Last time we did poison, and this is the poison effect. Let's see. How does the poison effect look right now? There's a lot of damage. Okay, so last time we decided to make buffs, debuffs deal tick damage. So for example, a poison debuff would deal tick damage and then it would spawn a bubble. And the inspiration for that was Terraria poisoned. This one. This was the inspiration. Oh, I can't. What a shitty menu. What a fucking dog shit ass menu that is. Ah, okay. I see. You just have to move the mouse out of the way. Okay. JavaScript, ladies and gentlemen, JavaScript. And CSS styling. Awesome. Sup Cakez. Hey, my gets up. Open the GIF in a new window. I tried that, I think. Oh, actually it works. Okay. Alright, so you see how every time he takes damage, we see a damage number on top of his head. And the damage seems to be rather fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's 0.5. Every 0.5 seconds he takes damage. Or maybe every 0.4. So if we want that to happen with buffs too, then that's one downside of C and C++. You either end up with a huge file sizes or lots of files. You have that everywhere, man. Listen, you have this everywhere. I wonder if there's a reason for why this happens. Hey, collector of stuff. Okay, so we probably should do a tick rate for each buff. Or each buff has a fixed tick rate. Or at tick count. What are you making? Guys, I have a question for you. This is a... Did you change your schedule? No, I did not change my schedule. I'm currently trying to figure out how I can work more towards putting out way more stuff on YouTube. That's all, Inukai. I'm just trying to find a way to turn mostly everything I do into YouTube content and in a very efficient way. Whether that be shorts, edited videos, or maybe let's plays and stuff like that. I'm setting up a lot of stuff. And also today I had to replace the power supply in this computer because the power supply in this computer was acting up and doing very loud noises. So I have a question for you guys. The damage will be the same, right? The damage will always be the same amount. It just depends on how it works. And I think it's easier if I give it to you on Paint, so you guys understand what I mean. For example, let's say I have a buff, right? Let's put this here somewhere. Right, let's say I have a debuff on the enemy, right? Debuff. Debuff on the enemy. For example, burning. And that lasts to, let's not do 2 because it's difficult to reach, 3 seconds. Okay? 3 seconds. And it does 100 DPS. Okay, which is damage per second, which would result in 300 damage. You know that, right? You can do math. That is 300 damage. Okay. Now there's a couple of ways to do that. First way. Every frame. That would mean we take the 100 and multiply that by delta time. Every frame. That is 1. Number 2 is tick rate. So for example, we take the 3 seconds and we divide that by a fixed tick rate. For example, let's say that is, we have, let's not call it tick rate, but then this could also be called, wait, it's better if I do it like this. Count. This could also be called count. Okay, which means, well, we can take the 3 seconds and divide that by a fixed rate. For example, we want to have 6 ticks. Okay, so let's say that is 6. Well, that would result in 180 seconds being divided by 6, which would result in, I'm not doing this in my head, hell no. 180 divided by 6. That would mean a tick. Wait, no, wait. That is 3 seconds. I'm very sorry. Sorry about that. This is dumb. So that would be 3000 divided by 6. 3000 milliseconds divided by 6. By 6 ticks. And that results in, I'm not doing this in my head. I know it's something with 5, but that's all I do. 500 milliseconds. Which would mean we tick every 500 milliseconds. However, if we change the 3 seconds to 2 seconds and divide that by 6, well, then we have 200 milliseconds divided by 6, which results in, hello there guys, hello teacup. Was Vulkan terrible to use? Most people prefer OpenGL, and I have seen on jobs posts with text OpenGL and Vulkan, and employees looked more prefer OpenGL. OpenGL, DirectX, Vulkan. Vulkan is very verbose, takes a lot of time to code, makes changing stuff very difficult if you change your mind all the way in the middle of development. And on top of that, it is very advanced. AKA, you have to do basically everything yourself. I already said that by saying very verbose, But Vulkan is... And it's not even supported flat out on Mac, as far as I know. You still have to bind with metal in a way. Vulkan is just too complex. It only works when you have a set-in-stone pipeline, in my opinion. What is 2000 divided by 6? I know by 5 is 4. By 6 is 2000 divided by 6. 333. Okay. That is 333 milliseconds. So if we have a shorter duration for our burning, that will result in faster ticks. What do you guys think about that? I guess I'm... How does Path of Exile do this? They do this every frame. Path of Exile does it every frame. Or on a fixed time step. I always say if you know how to write better code or a better API than DirectX 11, choose DirectX 12, otherwise stick with DirectX 11. It might be similar with OpenGL and Vulkan. Yeah, in order to make Vulkan manageable, you have to write OpenGL. Exactly. Or you have a fixed pipeline in your head, or not in your head, or you already have a fixed pipeline already present in your code that uses, let's say, OpenGL or a different graphics library, and you build Vulkan on top of that, then that's warranted. Then you can do that because you can go deeper into the specifics of what your needs are. But if you don't know your needs, then OpenGL is perfectly fine because you will be changing it a lot. You will be changing code left and right, and that is so much easier with OpenGL than with Vulkan. So probably that's why they mostly look for OpenGL stuff. I suppose we can make a fixed a tick rate of 3, which means we tick 3 times, and as we increase the duration of our, or let's say we do a tick rate of 6. 1 divided by 6, what is that? That's 0.16. 1 divided by 4, that's 4 ticks. How many times a second should a debuff tick, guys? 2 times? I think I would like to have a tick rate of 0.5, but the problem is if I have a buff. So you understand this, right? What if... Wait, clip copy to clipboard. What does that mean? Does this even exist? Or is this just for me? That's so... Does this even exist? I want to check on something right now, because I've done this in the past and it didn't really work out. Let me see here. I want to check on something. Creator dashboard, video producer. Clips I have created. Clips I have created. 1 minute ago. That's 0.16. Okay. 1 divided by 4, that's 4 ticks. How many times? Look at this, and then I can go... Can I go to the Watch on Clips page? Can I watch the VOD? Can I go to the... I guess it's fine. It's not fine. Because it doesn't give me the timestamp. Which is bad. I want to test out a little bit because I know about a couple of features that I've not been using. Marker description. Marker. Unrecognized maker. Successfully added a stream marker. Short about buffs. Interesting. Okay. I'm not... Interesting. Awesome. I know that Primogen uses those markers. Very cool. You should create a short where you enter 1/2 in the calculator. Oh my god. Okay, Inukai. Okay, bro. Yeah, okay. Yeah. What is this stupid emote called again? Billing nails? Nails? Fucking stupid. Okay, bro. Hello, if you had to learn OpenGL for 2D enough... Wait. If you had to learn OpenGL for 2D enough for a game, how much time and hours would you say is required? Hello, if you had to learn OpenGL for 2D enough for game, how much time would you say is required? You can't really say that per se. For example, you can go over the learnopengl.com website and do the entire tutorial, and that will give you a very good base. It will give you 2D and 3D stuff as a base. And that will already set you up for success. However long that takes to do. How much did it take me? You can't compare me with you because I started with Vulkan. Vulkan took me a year. Well, Vulkan didn't take me a year. Vulkan took me half a year, but then I spent half a year learning how to make an engine. So Vulkan took me a year. If I, add the engine on top of that. He's on to us. Yeah. So it depends. Yeah, it depends. What if we do something like this? Let's say we have a buff. Let's say we have a debuff. This is so terrible. Debuff. Like burning. And it has 2.2 seconds. I don't like 2.2 because 1.5, let's say 1.7 seconds. And the tick rate, we have a tick rate. Tick rate of 0.5. Yeah. Which means we would tick at 0, at 0.5, at 1, at 1.5. But what happened? What happens here? What happens? What happens? What happens at 1.7? Do we just use the remaining time? So at 1.7, we have 0.2 left. Do we just multiply, let's say, you know, that is 1.7 seconds and 100 DPS. On a tick rate of 0.5, we have a damage of 50. Right. I also have this problem, haven't bothered to fix it yet. You have the same problem? Yeah, so like, if I want to show damage numbers, then at 0.2, well, I have to deal 20 damage. That is the solution. I always deal 50 damage, and then at the very end, I deal 20. If I have a variable amount of time, because I can change how long someone burns by equipping items, then I need to take that into account if I want to display damage numbers, because you can't display a damage number every frame. That's stupid. So that would be a, I guess, weird solution. What we could also do is we can discard this, right? Which is bad. We can potentially just say, okay, well, I clicked on red, didn't I? But I guess it was for this. Right, well, we can say, okay, discard. That's also possible, but in my opinion, this is bad. Well, not showing damage. I mean that debuffs do more damage than they should because their duration doesn't perfectly be divided by the tick rate. How? I have a tick rate, like every 10 ticks, then damage per tick, and the total damage applications, like 3, thus running for 3 times 10 ticks in total. Huh? I have a tick rate, like every 10 ticks. Then, what is a tick for you? Is a tick for you like one update of the game loop? Then the damage per tick and the total damage applications. What is total damage application? Then the damage per tick and the total damage applications, like 3, thus running. Let me check what I named it in code. Knowing that this could have solved Cake's issue with Vulkan in his game engine series on YouTube for the engine called Kohi. What? Go.game paused. Go.game paused until we have a to-do list on the website that you guys can look at, yes. I'm pausing the game until then, and I'm currently focusing a lot on putting out YouTube content. I want to do some YouTube videos, so I'm focusing on that a little bit. And also on Monday there will be no stream. I have to drive to Munich, which takes 7 hours of driving with a car. I drive at 2 a.m. in the morning, which means I'll be there at 10 if everything is good, everything works out, you know, with a little bit of breaks in between. And then I'll sleep there for a couple of hours, and then I'll return the same day back to Münster. And so I will not be able to stream on Monday, unfortunately, because I will be doing that. Yeah. And I'm thinking about taking Mondays off to do YouTube, because that would allow me to catch up with the YouTube stuff every once in a while, you know. Either Mondays or Sundays, it depends, because soon soccer will start again. Because I need to catch up with YouTube. There's a lot of stuff. I have 2 PALWORLD streams that I have to go through. Why do you drive? Just to sleep a bit. I drive there because my wife and the kid of my wife's sister and her sister, they need to register with the Albanian assembly or something there, and it's only in Munich. And driving by train is way too expensive for them. So, yeah. It's called ticks remaining, but that's misleading. I choose damage per tick and how often that should be applied. Ticks remaining, but the name sucks. And then the time between two damage numbers hits. So, for example, if you have a burning debuff, you say it ticks 5 times. Right? Which is what we had before. If we say, okay, well, we tick 5 times, and then we divide the duration by 5, and that's how frequently we apply the damage, and then you have a damage for each tick. Yeah, I mean, that's essentially what I have too. The thing is, if I say, okay, well, I tick 2 times, and then I increase the duration of my burning by... I increase the duration of my burning by 100%, then I would deal damage 1 time a second. But a lot of damage, if that makes sense, right? Because I tick 2 times. So this is what I don't like about that system. I would like to have a consistent tick rate that says I'm always ticking 0.5 seconds. And then that leaves me with, you know, this unfortunate situation where I have to tick at 0.2 at the very end. I get the duration as a result. PoE ticks every frame, I know. PoE ticks every frame, I tick every frame at the moment, but then we can't deal damage number. PoE runs at 30 ticks, yeah. But they tick every frame, or every tick. Tick every tick. Hey, what's up, man? Hey, Greenish Pepper. How are you doing, bro? The to-do list going to be crazy. Hey, Mr. Amida, about the to-do list, I have a question. Will I be able to mark what I'm working on for the day? Dot usually have duration and tick rate only, because if the duration gets increased, then you do not have to hardcode anything. The damage tick is calculated every time. If they are, and random modifier factors.
Gotcha, bitch!
What? Dots usually have a duration and a tick rate only. Because if the duration gets increased, then you do not have to hardcode anything. The damage divided by the tick is calculated every frame. If there are random modifier factors. So what you're saying is... What you're saying is the following. Wrong way. For the day, good idea, but do you want something like an editable roadmap? I want to put in a list of things that I'm going to do over the entire game, but sometimes I have to add points to it. And I want to tick certain things off, mark them as a green check mark, and then maybe put I don't know, something that indicates that we're working on this currently on an item. And then the rest will just be empty checkboxes that we can take a look at here. Thank you very much for following, Lol Delta. So what you mean is the following, right? We have debuff again, and that has a duration of 1.6 seconds, and then a tick rate. I hate this, you know. This tablet sucks. It doesn't suck, but it sucks when it's not straight, because then it looks like I'm like doing this, which is not what I'm doing. Tick rate of 0.4. Or like, wait. And tick rate. How do you define the tick rate? Or is it not 0.4, but let's say it does 3 ticks. So you tick at 0. You tick at halfway. And you tick at 1.6. Do not define the duration but the tick rate. You can calculate both. It doesn't really matter. I still need the duration. I have something like is currently worked on. The to-do list has a checkbox on each entry with 3. Started, unchecked, worked on, checked. Finished. Unchecked, worked on, checked. Yeah, I think that's what I need. Yeah, that's all I want to, that's all I need. But I need to add in some text sometimes, some items. Like for example, I get a cool idea and I want to add that to the list. Or I want to remove an item from the list. Is that possible? Right, or if I say, okay, well, the tick rate is 4, then it would tick at 0. 1.6 divided by 4, which is 16 divided by 4, which is 0.4. 0.8. Wait, no. That's wrong. Can we even divide 16 by 4? We want to do 4 ticks. We tick here. $16 divided by 4. Shut up, man. Shut up, this is difficult, okay? Wait. 4. So it's... so it is 4. Yeah? Most RPG games use either 0.5 seconds divided... 0.5 seconds per tick or 1 second per tick. And only the duration can be changed by modifiers such as increased duration on items. Yeah, but if you have an duration of 1.6 seconds, Kalama, then you can't tick on 0.5, 1 and 1.5, because then on 1.6 the debuff will run out and it will deal no damage. Usually what I'm remembering from World of Warcraft or any MMORPG that I have played, the debuff always does a tick whenever it runs out. The last second or the last application of damage always happens whenever the debuff runs out. So if we have a tick rate of 4, that means we have 0. Fuck. 0.8. Wait, we need to divide it by 3. Because I know that we do it at 1.6. And then in between here. So that's gotta be 6 and 12, right? 6 seconds plus, no wait, minus 4 seconds is 1.2, minus 4 seconds is 0.8, but then there's 8 difference in here. So, Fuck, this is difficult, man. God, how do we do... We have to divide it by 3, right? 16 divided by 4 equals tick. Okay, so I guess we don't have an application on 0 then. We could say 0.4, 0.8, and 1.2 and 1.6. Right, we could do that. Right? Stop making fun of it, guys. Good morning, Pikachu's glitch. Not every game does that. Most games will just ignore it. That's why some upgrades and duration won't worth it, because you have a treasure. No, there's no way. There's absolutely no way. There's absolutely no way. I need to play World of Warcraft just to figure this out. Fuck, I can't, I don't have a World of Warcraft subscription anymore. Diablo 2 frames pain. Hello again. When animating a sprite, do you color at first and then animate, or animate and then color? I do this first. No, I clicked on sprite 1, bro. I animate first and then I color. I create, for each limb that I want to animate, I create an entire layer. And then I draw them in their own layer. And then I animate all of them separately and make them move. Oh my god! Have you tried otherwise? Yes, but it's more difficult. This one's easier. It's still a lot of work. Hey Cakez, hey Awesome. Can you play WoW for free on retail level 20? Nah, that would be too much work right now, and I would have to download World of Warcraft. Yeah, it is so much easier when you let the game just calculate the damage every frame. We could give it a tick rate, but then it would be... Some buffs would tick faster than others. I tried this but fail, lol. It's a matter of practice, and your sprites look good, Pikachu's glitch. I don't think you have bad sprites at all, man. I actually wasn't paying any attention, so I have no clue what the problem is. Yeah, that's typical, yeah. You guys just I know that, yeah. It's fine. Go back to whatever you were doing. It's okay. Push. Excuse me. If you calculate the damage every frame, then when your game starts lagging a bit, you will lose damage, don't you? No, I want you to lose damage, but I can't do damage numbers. Cakez windows a small melt, a little bit more. Guys, I have a question for you. Who of you played Terraria? Who of you guys in chat played Terraria? I need some help from the Terraria pros. I did. Azen, can you increase the poison duration on enemies? Can you make the poison last longer on enemies? What about girls? Girls don't play video games, didn't you know? Please stop saying that, okay? Be realistic here, okay, brother? Thank you. Now. Poison in Terraria is trash. True, my bad. Good. I've played for 21 minutes. Good. Did you use poison? I don't remember. Shit. Okay. I played Mario. Is best to the game. Okay, so we don't know. That's okay. I'm gonna give it a tick rate. Cakez expecting chat to be helpful, yeah. My mistake. Sorry, guys. It's my own fault. The only good thing about poison is windpipe, only because you can use it with cursed flame projectiles. Terraria looks neat, never heard of it. Terraria is huge, man. It's one of the biggest games ever. Okay, well, we need to find a solution for that. To our problem. Cakez, for real though, I was focused on chat, didn't catch the problem is, can you say it again? The problem is that I would like to make buffs tick at fixed portions, and then I can use damage numbers. Hello again, sorry, how do you prototype drawings? Paper first or drawing on tablet or screen tablet? I don't know, I just use the mouse. I don't do anything special. I drew this with the mouse. You don't need anything special for that. I don't do paper first, no. It's just an additional step. You don't use tablet? I only use the tablet for paint. Yeah. Yeah. Mouse is precise and is imprecise? No. Doesn't matter with pixel art. Pixel art is literally you place pixels at a time. You can spend literally minutes on a single pixel. You know. You could decide whether you want to place this one pixel here, making the arm much thicker. Or, for example, you could say, okay, I'll make the fist a little bit smaller or shorter. Mouse is the most accurate for pixel art, yeah. I mean, you can do both. Oops, I don't want to save that. And even if you do something else, you don't need, whoops, you don't need a tablet for that. Good day, mein Freund. Good day, Rutradam. Hello there. Okay, I don't have a solution. But let's see if buff duration is ever used. Because I know that I'm not counting this down. I'm counting this up. Hello Hussein on YouTube. Hello there. Also, what does this stupid heart on YouTube do? I don't understand. Such a stupid thing. A fucking wall if you have FX For example, two rogues, each rogue will have their own poison stack which ticks at different times. You could do that. That is not my problem. My problem is one single poison stack. How often does it tick if you increase the duration for poison? You can start with a poison stack or a poison debuff collector of stuff of 1.5 seconds. Now you increase the talent by buying a new poison ability, you know, in World of Warcraft Classic, for example. And now the poison lasts 1.6 seconds. But the poison damage is only applied every now and then. They tick at certain intervals. If you turn it from 1.5 to 1.6, there would be no gain in damage if it didn't deal damage at the very end, because then the upgrade would do nothing. Because it will discard the 0.1 second that is left over if you tick at 0.5 intervals. I did ask ChatGPT about the bot dot calculation. Your internet ping is ... My internet ping is what? My internet should be fine, bro. Shouldn't be any issue. Ja, was denn? Was denn? Was brauchst du? Ja klar. So, wenn die fertig ist, dann die bringen? Hm? Ja, klar. Hm? If you tick at rate 0.5 seconds, then only buffs with... Then only allow buffs. I can't. I have an increase of percentage values, and I don't want to deal with always. So always apply the remainder. Yeah, that is the solution that we came up with here or earlier on. Guys, what is going on here? Why is this flickering so much? Look at that.
Gotcha, bitch.
It's weird. Oh, okay. The thick rate. Thank you very much for following, Phil. What's an owner in your code? An owner is just the owner of the buff. The one that applied the buff. You could do an extra tick for the remainder. Yeah, that is what I was thinking about. It's not spelled like that. It's spelled owner. Oh, you mean in the text? I see, thank you. Yeah. I made a mistake there. Can I get the name of this song, please? This song right here, it's a Pokemon song, I think. No, actually, it's not. You can do exclamation mark song. Yeah, then you can do exclamation mark song. Actually. Otherwise, it's just a design decision. You can either accurate to the value or define breakpoints. What my internet ping is? I don't know. Like 19 milliseconds to Google or something. It depends what you connect to. If you connect to something that is very far away, the ping will be higher. Okay, guys. We need to make a decision at some point, right? So let's first see if a B duration. Let's see, what are we using it for? It's counting down the time. Buff type poison, particle emitter, lifetime. We don't need that. Honors should be kept alive if for some reason not expire the buff. Let's do a vote. I think it's just stunning how you managed to build applications on VS Code. I was trying to build GUI and only got it running Visual Studio 2022. I can't do shit on VS Code. I think it's stunning how you can use Visual Studio Code, man, to be honest. Because you don't have any options, or you have too many options. They're so confusing. It said usually uses to approach, include the last tick and exclude the last tick. The first one, for example, is World of Warcraft. The second one is Diablo 3. Okay, so Diablo 3 is a terrible game. And World of Warcraft is good. Been wanting to learn Vim, but it's never, just never could pull the trigger. Lol, you just do it, Phil. There's nothing you should wait about. Just do it. Get right into it and be slow for a couple of days. There's nothing. You will never be prepared. You can watch as many tutorials if you want to, but you have to use it. Delete expired buffs. If this is everything, then I think we have a chance. I think it's fine, to be honest. We are making it like this. Every buff ticks 4 times. Some buffs tick faster because their duration is slower, but every buff will just tick 4 times. And we put it up here at the very top. Const float tick rate is 4. Okay? And then whenever we update a buff, we just reduce the duration and increase the time. What? Hello there, Darpy. How's it going? Just put it into the magic code generator, then play PALWORLD. I want to play PALWORLD, you're sure? Yeah, I really want to do that. The choice is on you. You can increase that duration to always match with the tick rate. That's true, yeah. Aseprite has a dark theme, Cakez. I know that, cuckoo. Yeah, I've built it myself, so it's probably on a newer patch that I don't have yet. Just chillin', that's great. That's great. True that. As is, I work at a real high pace right now. So the idea of being slow for a couple of days wings me out. Yeah, but you will always work at a high pace. There will never be a perfect starting point, bro. You will always be slow when you switch to something you don't know. The question, however, is will it be better in the long run than you should do it right now? Whether that you have to come up with your own reason why it will be worthwhile in the long run. Whether that be wrist easing on your wrists. Whether that be more fun when coding. It's up to you. I think I need to quickly check on the water. Mm. Mm. My wife needed like a warming Flasche, Wärmflasche in English. Warming water thing. And I stole a cookie from her. Mm. Hungry little pecker. When will you release your game? When I have a very good game loop running. When I have all of the systems in place. So I'm currently building the systems, which is not very fun. Because there's a lot of thinking involved, you know. It's not just coding and making big progress. Because you have to think about, well, stuff like this, right? We are thinking about how to fucking do buffs. Buffs, debuffs, which is very boring. Really. I'm not having that much fun doing that. I have to be honest. But it has to be done. We have to think about it. It has to be made in a way that it engages the player and gives them something visual so it looks cool and feels good. You know? It needs to feel good. Putting a poison on someone needs to feel awesome, because then you want to put more poison on someone, right? And that makes you feel good. It gives you, it needs to give you like some dopamine boost. That's what it needs to do. Survival crafting RPG. That's what you want to do. Yeah, making a game is hard. Well, making this for the first time and learning all of this, that's hard, yeah. It takes time to learn all of that. True. And who told me I was nominated for the game development category? I'm not. You lied to me. You are an asshole. Okay? We got him. Who did that? VIP? If I want to refresh the duration of a buff, I'm just gonna apply it again, right? Let me double check. How's Godot better than Unity? The Unity peeps are idiots. That's how Godot is better. In what sense? They try to charge 20 cents per installation. And that could be exploited, which means you as a game developer could have enormous rates to pay to Unity if someone exploits that for your game and you can't do anything about it. The engine is good, the company not so much, yeah. That's basically it. They have mismanaged their company, they are running out of money and they needed a way to earn more money and they thought that would be a great idea, and now everyone has... They tried to do that and then they walked all of this back. Which means... the most people have lost trust in the leadership of Unity. And only those that are still like tied to the engine because they're making a game in the engine and they're so far into the game, they will stick with Unity. And obviously some new people as well that don't know about this, of course. Like, it's not like everyone knows about this. Absolutely not. Most people use the engine because they don't know about this. And currently it sits where you still have to pay per installation, but you have to give these stats to Unity. You track them yourself, which is a little bit odd. Like, the entire system they thought of is dumb and stupid. They missed the mark, not like Unreal. They expanded to even filmmaking, etc. They missed the mark, and on top of that, when was the last feature of Unity advertised as like a big deal? When was the last time you watched a video about Unity and you were like, damn, this feature is cool? When did that happen? It's always like Unreal Engine pushing some cool stuff, innovative stuff. So to make mobile games, which engine is good? Probably still Unity, but I have not made a mobile game, so I couldn't tell you. There's also Game Maker, there's Godot, and Unreal is there as well. Is your game in your background? Yeah, the game is currently in the background, running. They support VR stuff quite a lot. Cakez, but I heard that Unreal is not feasible for mobile games. Really? Is it not? Maybe because it's not efficient on there? I have not used Unreal Engine, so I can't tell you. For anyone who is starting, Godot is the best. Are you sure about that, Grimdan? Yeah, Godot is great to get into, but it does have its fair share of bugs, unfortunately. And especially, you know, creating the first project is a little bit... they should make that process a little bit better. Why do Godot games have horrible 20-year-old graphics? Because no one has made a very good Godot game yet and released it. And it was very successful so that everyone knows about it. I wrote this last time you mentioned this, but Unity had ruined itself that way. By just broadcasting new features, they acquired all kinds of tech so they could market the engine with buzzwords. As a result, the engine became an unstable mess and not actually suited for regular devs. They had to make a full stop and focus on stability and actual usability and promoted 2017 onward with that regained stability. I'm just comparing Unity with Unreal Engine, and when we think about that, or when we take a look at that, we can see that Unreal Engine is constantly putting out really crazy videos about how they made their world more efficient looking by using this nanite technology, for example. I wouldn't know about this technology if I hadn't seen a video about Unreal Engine advertising it, right? And I have not seen this stuff in Unity. I get what you mean, yes. Godot has the capability to make games as good as looking as the ones in Unity without any efficiency problems. Has, for example, Hearthstone. It has. Whether it is efficient, I don't know. I can't tell you yet. I'm currently making a game in Godot. What do you think about the quality of life in Germany, Cakez? It's good. I like it here. You can get a job anywhere, every time, as well. Like, if you want a job, go work as a cashier. Go work at McDonald's. Never had any issues finding a job. Now, that's not to mean that no one has issues. That would be a lie. But I like it. I need water, guys. I'm out. And we really need to get a move on here. Honor should be kept alive if for some reason not expire the buff. Delete expired buffs. So we remove time. And we add to the time here. What is healthy? Let's see if everything still works the same. Shock, chilled, bleed. Let's not work on bleed right now. Let's work on poison. Ah, shit, it doesn't work. It doesn't work, guys. If we store the duration, no, it doesn't work. We need to now. I need to undo some stuff. This const float tick rate doesn't work. If we have a duration of 10 seconds, then we need to count up to that 10 seconds. And if we tick 4 times during that time, Cakez, if you were told to sell drugs for 3 months and get $150, would you do it? Depends what happens afterwards. If I could just leave and get out of it, no problems. Maybe. You go to jail? Yeah. I would go to jail probably. This is a good game in your background. Thank you, man. Guys, I'm stuck with buffs and tick rates. I can't believe it, man. I don't know how to implement this. Hey, Shade11. Cakez, if you could solve Gaza conflict for the price of selling drugs to kids about 3 months constantly, I wouldn't do that. Are you doing this with an engine or not? I'm doing this with my C++ code, senior. Or senor? Is that senor? After 3 months, you will get an offer for 300k in the next 3 months. Cakez doesn't care for Gaza conflict. I don't know about the Gaza conflict, man. Listen. My brain is overflowing, okay? It is full. It's like this glass that is so full that if you just move it an inch, it literally tips over. It floods over. That's how full my brain is, okay? There is no space for more stuff. How do you define a glass? You can look through it. You can look through it. You need a new brain, man? I don't need a new brain. I need less things to do. And more solutions to problems in my game. You know what? I do the one solution that requires more data. There we go. There it is. Pricing video when? Yeah, stuff like that. That's what I'm working on. I would have been working on that probably tomorrow. If I wasn't streaming, I would be working on that. Not right now, but probably tomorrow. More data, but you said you're already overflowing. Cakez broke the stun lock. Stun lock is not bad. Let's try if we can do it at the end. Then we don't need a delete buff. Here. Alright, let's do burning. It is bad because it means delayed PALWORLD. True. So for example, let's start with poison. It's right here. So emit rate is how often we emit. Right, then we set the timer to 0.4 and then we emit. We emit particles. Every time we deal damage, we emit a particle and we also inflict damage. We attack. Not with a dot, but with an impact. There we go. And if we have the tick timer set, then we do b tick timer minus, let's call this float tick, tick step or something, which is b duration divided by tick rate. And then if it's bigger than the frequency, I guess, let's call it tick frequency. Tick frequency. Tick frequency, and then we do minus timer minus the tick frequency. Minus equals. There we go. Let's see how this piece of code works. Would you go through gender transformation surgery if WoW was to knock on your door? No, why would I do that? Huh? What kind of question is that? Why would I do that? I don't want to be anything else. I like being me. Huh? Like, if someone wants to be that, what does that have to do with war? It makes absolutely no sense. This question is so weird, bro. What are you saying? Huh? Bruh. Legit question. It's been done before, but would Cakez pull it off? Oh wow, it does 0 damage. Awesome. Cool. I know why it does 0 damage, by the way. Shit, I shouldn't have done that. The reason why it does that is because we have to divide it by the tick frequency. That's why. We have to multiply that by the frequency. 0? Yeah. I know. We have it. We have our first ticking debuff. Guys, watch. Oh, one last thing. Whenever... Oh yeah, yeah. Yes. Okay, now that we have this, it should work. Oh wow, it does. Oh god. Damn. That's so much damage, man. Cakez read Jesus' earlier question. But if you fake the gender transformation, Cakez, would you fight for your country if ever went to war? If I have to, yes. If I don't, no. Because I want to make games. Would you turn off your television if there are 4 planes on the sky? You know what? I know what type of effect I'm gonna do. 140 is too much, needs to be something like 120. I think 140 is way too much, by the way. But that's also because of the base duration for poison being 3 seconds now. That's way too long. Hey, Dev Spudgers. Welcome. Thank you very much for the raid. Good morning. Yeah, I set this to 4 seconds. That's a bit too long. Lol. Hello there. Hello, guys. I think 2-second poison duration should be better. Then we have 4 ticks, which is 0.5. Good morning, guys. How is it going? We're currently working on buffs and debuffs. We have been discussing, well, if like, for example, I have a poison debuff on an enemy, that poison debuff, if I want to display a damage number, because that's cooler for the eye, for the user, because it looks cool, right? Then we have to tick every now and then, because we can't tick every frame, because then you have way too many numbers showing up, right? That makes no sense. And so we were discussing how we could potentially make a buff tick at certain intervals. So for example, I made it now so that every buff ticks 4 times, and a poison debuff just ticks slower than a burning debuff because it lasts longer. Burning lasts, I think, a second, and a poison buff lasts 2 seconds. So it ticks half as fast. Oh yeah, I wanted to change on the attack. Hope your game comes along well. Would you still make games if the only way to do so was to do that for Putin's promotion and also someone tickled your ears constantly as you do it? What are these questions, man? What are you trying to achieve with this, bro? I don't understand. What are you saying? Explain this to me. Huh? That's not a real question, guys. Damn, your chat blows. Actual question, yeah, sure. Would the bosses change the modifiers? Bosses have their own abilities. A boss can have twice as long duration on poison on you. Yeah, it could have a very long lingering poison that ticks. Like, you know those crazy debuffs in World of Warcraft that tick every minute? And then they deal like 600 damage to you? Yeah, bosses could have that, right? Let's say, okay, so the base is 4 ticks. If you make a debuff that is 4 minutes long, it ticks 4 times, once a minute. There you go. Of course, yeah, you can do that. What is 4 minutes? 60, 120, 240 seconds. Attack. Okay, let's see here. I want to create the poison effect. Where's this? Color palette 8. I want to use color palette 16, which is green. What is this shit here? How are you able to run the game while editing your code? Don't you have to rebuild it every time you change something? Well, that's because... do we have like HOTS or something? Or like reload? Guys, do I have an exclamation mark? Do I have a command for this? Commands. Hot source. Let's see. Game saying voices, commands, hot reload. Oh, it's called hot reload, lol. Okay. I have a video on that, bro, if you want to check that out. Dan on YouTube. If you want to check out how I do the hot code reloading. Example, this is an example response. This is how I do it. I have a tutorial video on that, bro. Sprite effect. Poison. There you go. Now we have a real poison effect when we impact. Let's see. Ah, it's gonna work first. Oh wow, look at that. I think the effect should still be a bit cooler than just this lowly poison hit. But it's better than nothing for now. Now, is there a way? Nah, we will do it like this. I still think poison is too powerful. Look how fast they die. They die so fast. It's ridiculous. This ability is OP. I never thought to do health bar on the bottom. Well, I think health bar on the bottom for tower defense games works better than on the top. Wow, that looks so freaking cool, man. Oh wow, he takes... I think this is cool. Yeah, I think this is it. That's what we want. Come on, kill them. Come on. Poison him. Awesome! It works. Make the poison text green. Yeah, we'll have to see about that. I know what you mean. We can make the poison text green. And then, like, the predominant damage number does also... Let's try, okay? Let's try. I already have the different colors already. Why do I keep repeating myself? I already have the different colors present. Which means the damage number can have a color. But it already does more damage the more damage you do, you know. But I guess since we are on a different... We have different damage types. I think it would be too confusing, to be honest. Mob HP did reset. Did I saw right in the bottom corner? No, they were all stacked on top of each other because when I hotcode reload, my game spawns all of the monsters for that particular round in one go. Because when I coded this, I wasn't thinking about the hotcode reloading. It's a little bit difficult to explain, but whenever I reload, whenever I edit my game and then apply the changes by building again, the game forgets about how many units it has spawned. And it does, it starts over again. I thought your damage numbers are unified. What does that mean? Grimdan, unified. Yeah, the HP display is not correct. It looks like it did reset. No, it didn't reset. It was just two monsters on the same... on the same position. How long have we been streaming for, guys? Okay, below 2 hours. That's okay. I know you guys want to see predominantly Godot. I know that. That's okay. We will switch over to Godot whenever the to-do list is ready, okay? Yeah, so I'm using different colors for damage numbers depending on how much damage I do. But for now, we could use the damage numbers color. Right? And then how do I know the color? Find the highest damage and create an effect. Yes, that's what we do here. This is so easy in C++, man. Once you know your way around C++, it's awesome. I just love this. What is the name of the code editor you use when programming games? It's Visual Studio Code. You can see this right here. It's this icon. I wouldn't wait for that to-do list. My buddy Asen told me he is going to release a similar game under the name of Tower Defense in 3 weeks. Oh, really, Asen? Inukai told me you're making a game? Huh, interesting. I think you're lying, Inukai. I think you, sir, are lying. Header files always mess up my head. They're not really needed. Okay, so it should be green now. So guys, what do you think? Huh? This is damage numbers in action. Maybe this color is a little bit bad as an effect. Fuck you. Let's try red. Fucking piece of shit. Works but needs to be brighter. Well, we can try 17. Instead of 16, we can try 17. I like Pixel Game, looks very good in this game. Thank you, man. And the default white one is not bright enough, right? I wonder why. Why is it so dark? I think I like this. It looks good.
Am I so out of touch?
Yeah, this is good.
No.
X_egoist just subscribed. Big tick support for 11 years.
Well, thank you, man. Thank you very much for subscribing. Your code looks so clean. Thank you, Orange. Hello there. Thank you, man. These people on my chat, they always say my code looks bad, but they don't know what they're talking about. They're fucking stupid. You know exactly, you know what quality is, bro. Thank you so much. Straight sarcasm. Shut the fuck up. Normal hit 10 damage, poison 70-50 XD. Yeah, we'll have to deal with like, the reason why the normal hit is 10 damage is simply because yeah, it's not balanced very well yet. They all miss. Holy shit. Look, they all miss. They're stupid. Hey, stop missing, you dumbasses. By the way, why do they no longer have an animation? Wow, this looks really good. It's starting to look really fun. Look at this, guys. Oh, wow. This guy's taking no damage. Look at this. Look at the golems. Oh, God. Why is their default animation no longer running? Where do they slide? That's so odd. Huh. Rafi, what are you doing? That's a very weird first message, bro. What are you doing? What are you doing licking those feet? Huh? You have something to say? I would never lie. This is the YouTube chat, not toxic Twitchers. That's true. That's true. YouTube chat is always very nice. 100%. Guys, I'm excited. You know, because we've made good progress and we're getting close to PALWORLD. I'm not addicted. I just want to play, you know? I can stop anytime. God. Where are you from, Cakez? I'm from Germany. Kaboom! Okay, let me think. What was... yeah, they were not animated. Why? Sorry. Sorry. This is done to so changes to enemy stats are... Oh! It's literally this, I think. We need to get the animation index. And then I think they will follow, or they will be animated again. Let's see. Please tell me it is. They're still sliding. Let's see if this happens to all of them. And if it's because of debug. No, I don't need to do that, man. Just yoink and paste. And then get rid of this and do if null. Please. Okay. Okay, so it is this. This piece of code right here makes the enemies not animate anymore. Why? Maybe it's the animation state. Maybe it's that. Do you know a good game about dragons and dungeons? You mean Baldur's Gate 3? They're still sliding. So what makes them slide? If it's not the animation state, if it's not the animation index, what is making them slide? Maybe a time that I don't keep track of. Maybe this animation time. Disable first half, then other. This has nothing to do with that. I need to keep track of all of these things. There we go. We have walking enemies again. Awesome. Look at this, guys. We now have damage numbers, walking enemies. And we have them in different colors. We have poison, we have ticks on buffs that deal damage. Now buffs, debuffs look really cool. And we can work on more effects. We also need to work on bloom soon. I want bloom. I want my game to look cool and feel cool. Do you see the skeletons in your dream? No, I don't. Not yet. I think it's too clean for us mortals to comprehend. Bloomer. Poison needs small animation. It already has. Don't you see that? Watch. See that? It has a small animation. Bloom, what's this? Yeah, we need that, Eklebev. Of course. Let's see here. This wasn't the point of my message. Left or right? Maybe move the poison tick's damage number a tiny bit up. Maybe left or right. Nah, it will all be in the same position. It's fine. What's the name of the dude towers of your game, Cakez? We don't have names for them yet. They are called Defender at the moment. We'll think about names later. Okay, guys. It's time for PALWORLD. We're gonna switch over to that. We are 2 hours into the stream. I have made good progress on the game. And we're gonna switch over to PALWORLD now. We're gonna switch over to PALWORLD, boys, because I'm having fun in the game. Bye bye, goodbye, boys. I'm gonna play the game no matter what, man. By the way, for those of you watching on YouTube, thank you very much. But I will switch over to my other YouTube account to play PALWORLD, because literally no one watches on my main channel when I play PALWORLD, and I might as well push the other one that is related to gaming. So thank you guys for watching on YouTube. I will switch over to the YouTube account. I have 2 YouTube accounts, yes. Peace on YouTube.